Hey everyone, hey everyone. If you're coming on, I want you to just go ahead and begin to share this live. This is part two of our conversation that I had started last week. Let me go ahead and share as well to my pages. If you're logging on, come on. Tell me where you're watching from if you are going to watch this as a replay. I also want to just say hi to you as well. God bless you for joining in. We're going to have a good conversation today, and I have time. I have time today. I have time to talk today. Okay, so we could enjoy a good conversation. I want us to ask as many questions as possible. Hold on, guys. Let me share to my personal page. I'm sharing to my personal page, and I need to share to sharing to my personal page, and I need to share to need to let Instagram know that we are live. Let me know where you're watching from. Hello YouTube, hello Twitter, hello LinkedIn, hello Dr. Tanisha Allen, my public figure page. Thank you all for joining us. Again, if you're watching this replay, you could also leave your comments and questions into the comment box. I will go back and I will watch. I will go back and I will answer any comments. If you have any personal questions that you would like to ask, you may do so through my email. My email or my DM. My email is info@kabodinc.org, or you can just DM me. I believe that will be a quicker way of reaching me. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just adding some people on here. How's everyone doing today? I have so many people that reached out to me last week and this week in regards to the conversations that we had last week. And so I want to make sure a lot of people that are on my private and personal page will be able to have the opportunity to see, because I decided to only go live from my public figure page, um, because I would like to move all these types of conversations to that page. And so if you have not subscribed to Dr. Tanisha Allen Facebook page or my YouTube channel, go ahead, because all the conversation will be I'll be going live from that page. Okay, so all my friends that's on my personal page, Tanisha Allen. Please make sure you subscribe because the conversations and the topics I had some topics that was sent to me as well, and I will be going live in regards to those conversations. And I believe it's conversations like this is needed. It is not talked about on the pulpit, and so I want to bring a form of I want to bring a form of openness um, in the kingdom of God, so that people will have a different understanding, a different view, and we could break down the mis what is it? If you hear kids in the background, dogs in the background, it's the real life over here. Okay, so just ignore them. So the the myths that was formed as we were growing up. So let me know where you are um, tuning in from. Say hi to me. Comment in the comment section. I believe I'll be able to see everyone's comments except on Twitter, and I do not have a lot of people that is on my Twitter. I'm not even on Twitter like that myself. But if you are on Twitter, go to YouTube or go to Dr. Tanisha Allen Facebook page, and I would love to have a conversation um, with you. Again, comment as we go on. Last week, I brought the topic. I'm sorry. I brought the topic up of, are you being lustful or are you being horny? Now, this is a question that was asked to me by a young person. Let me just say this. So, a young person asked me, how do I um, try to control my lustfulness? So, she believed that the feelings that she was feeling was because of lust. And so, I wanted to kind of debunk that understanding. A lot of times, we believe that natural um, our natural body makeup and chemistry is from um is being sinful. I'm sorry. Yes. So we want to make sure that we're not thinking that our natural chemistry and our natural makeup is a place of sinfulness. And when we think that these things are, that means this is where we have young children that are hiding things from us, conversations about sex. And if I'm all over the place, it's because I'm getting texts on my phone and I'm trying to multitask. But let's start over. So I do not want our young people to grow up believing that the natural functions of their body makeup and their body chemistry is a sin. It is not so. I have 3 young girls that I'm raising. I do not want them to believe that certain feelings, um, they have to hide it from me, because they believe that if they feel this way, then they are not being a good Christian, or they are being sinful because of their nature. Now, I do believe that feelings and certain emotions and things that come upon us as human beings need to be disciplined. Now, the conversation first have to be had so we could teach our young people how to discipline their nature. We cannot tell young people that because they feel their sexual appetite has been awakened, that they are being sinners. It is not true. It is not true. And so before in the last live, we talked about what does lust mean. Being lustful is having a desire or a longing after something or someone that is unforbidden, that doesn't belong to you. There's a continual thought in your head that you're thinking, I want this person, I want this person, or I'm wondering um, what it will be like if I will be, if this, or if what it will be like if I see this person naked, or what it be like with this person with no clothes. That is lust, that is being lustful, right? And so if you're on, I want you to comment, add to the conversation, add to the conversation. ask your questions. Let me know where you are watching from. Now, I also wanted to move from there because some other questions were brought up to me because of something that I mentioned on my last live. Something that was mentioned on my last. Hold on, guys. Let me do something with my page because I'm just being right. Something that was brought up to me through the many conversations that I had this week from the last post that I posted on the part two of this conversation was masturbation and pornography. And I believe that that is a big thing that has been hidden um, because of guilt and because of shame. Now, I am not condoning masturbation, neither am I condoning pornography, but what I'm doing is open up the the lines of communication so that many people will feel free to have the conversation. People are not having conversations like this because they feel guilty or they feel ashamed. They don't want to open up and tell somebody that they're struggling in certain areas because they feel like if they do, then they will be looked down upon. And again, I want to remove the shame from these types of conversation. And so a lot of times I would tell my testimony. On the last video, I said that I used to struggle very badly with porn. I used to struggle very badly with masturbation. And it was a shock to many that I said it, but I'm over it. I'm delivered. And it was years ago. But I know the journey where it comes from. And one of the things that I spoke to many different people over the weeks that struggle in that area. And one of the first things that I asked, why and where did it start? Why did this masturbation or this addiction to pornography start? What caused it? What was the trigger for you to begin your journey in that area? Hey, Brother Sean, it's not my house. um, Good morning. Good morning. Come on, guys. I want you to comment. Let me know that you are watching. So, if you're just joining, we're talking about this is part two to are you being lustful or are you being um, horny, right? I'm a bit somber today, guys. Let me just say that I'm a bit somber. I'm not my chip self. I found out that one of my um, younger brothers in Christ that I grew up with when I was a little girl. We all went to the same church. He actually passed away, and I'm still kind of shaken by it. So if I seem somber, just pray with me and pray with my past church family. A lot of us. There was a lot of us as young people that, if you know, we went to 14th Street, First Church of God in Christ, and to lose one of our childhood friends, that's kind of hard, especially how he was lost. So pray for his family, and pray for everyone that's connected to the family. It was a bit of a shocker to most of us. Okay, so if I feel somber, what's up, Trey? What's going on? So okay, so we're talking about I wanted to add the conversation of masturbation and pornography. For me, it was convenient, meaning it was in our home. My brother always had porn in the house, so I got started in porn and masturbation that way. Okay, yes. All right. So these are the two things that I want to open up when it comes to pornography and masturbation. A lot of times it was introduced by someone older than you or by someone who was already introduced to it that was your age mate. And I've heard conversations this week by it being introduced to the person because they were trying to um, silent their desire, basically, as you said, it was convenient because they already opened up the doors of having sex, and so they don't want to have sex anymore. So in order for them not to have sex, they have to find a way to pleasure themselves. These are conversations that I've had in these past week. And it's so surprising how many people, well, it's not surprising actually how many people are struggling with it, but it's surprising to me how this little conversation or this little snippet of a video opened up the hearts of the people to be able to express that to me. And I want to just mention that if you are struggling in that area, feel free to DM me. There is no shame over here. I'm not going to make you feel judged by it, but I want to help you walk through it as I had to walk through that same journey myself. It was not an easy journey. And so let's go back to what Sean said. He said it was convenient, it was in the house. Same thing with me. It was in my house growing up. It was in my house. I had access to it because at that time we had a black box. I don't know if many people knew remember the black box that we had to have cable at the time, and sometimes you paid extra to be able to see like HBO or Showtime and things like that. And so my parents had the black box. Also, when I was growing up in Jamaica, my family sold movies on the side, and so it was one of the things that they sold. So I had access to it, and that's how that came about um, when it comes to just pornography. But I want everyone to go back to a place of um, looking back at where it started, how it started, and why it started, and to write down the feelings that you have towards it, because we are carrying the guilt of it and we're carrying the shame of it, and this is the reason why we can't get over it. And it's not until we get over us feeling guilty, us feeling ashamed about it, um, we're not going to be able to get over that habit until we get over the emotions that's tied to the habit. I hope that made sense. We're not going to get over masturbation until we get over the feelings that's tied to the masturbation. And most of the times we are blaming ourselves for what has happened to us. We're blaming ourselves for what has happened to us, and we're carrying this 10-year, 6-year, 7-year, 18-year blame that a lot of times it was not because of us that we are now struggling with a habit that we're trying to get rid of. And so I want you to heal from the emotions that's tied to the habits. The reason why you're doing this is because there's an emotional tie to it. There's an emotional tie to these habits. Again, if you have any questions, please comment in the comment section. If you have anything that you would like to add and you don't want to post it publicly, go ahead and DM me. I have my phone here beside me, so I am reading texts, I'm reading DMs to be able to have this conversation with you guys. So let's go back to lust. Lust is when you are longing for something that is unforbidden, when you're playing the thoughts in your head over and over, and you're imagining an action that you know that you're not supposed to indulge in. Now, if you're just horny, that's something different. But there's another issue that we have in our flesh, and the issues that we have in our flesh, it has to be controlled. And if it's something that's uncontrolled, then you're dealing with lust. That is something that we mentioned last week. If it's a place or an appetite that is not able to be controlled or disciplined, then you are in a place of lust, and it's okay. You just need to get help. You need prayer. You need to talk to somebody. You need to see a therapist. Whatever you need to do, go ahead and get help. Now, I am waiting for the questions that we have in regards to this conversation. I'm waiting for the questions that we have, or if you have anything to add in the comment section, go ahead and add them in the comment section so I can answer all the questions, or maybe the ones that wanted me to come on today have not gotten out of bed, but I would like to answer these questions. Now, when it comes to my journey when I was when I came into Christendom, and I wanted to get rid of these desires that I had in my heart. It didn't just go away just like that. I had to pray, I had to fast, I had to discipline myself. I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago. I had a whole big thing of CDs. Back then we had DVDs. I had a bunch of DVDs that I had to literally break and get rid of, get out of my house. If we surround ourselves with things that's going to continue to remind us about these behaviors, we are never going to get ourselves out of it. If we continue to watch movies, if we continue to even watch commercials that are going to remind us of the behaviors that we used to partake in, we're not going to be able to fight these behaviors. We're not going to be able to fight them. And so, if that is you, get rid of the magazines, get rid of the DVDs, get rid of whatever it is these days. Or I don't know how you watch pornography these days, or if it's even a movie. I told someone this week that I couldn't, for a long time, I couldn't watch movies that had sexual scenes in it, because I know that it will awaken that appetite. And it wasn't even the fact that I wasn't married. A lot of people that I spoke to are people that are not married, and so they're Christians and they're not married, so they have to deal with discipline in their flesh. That wasn't my issue. I was very much so married. I didn't have any issues in my bedroom, but I had an issue with um, pornography, and I had an issue with masturbation that was different and separate from my husband at the time. And I had to find out what it was that was connecting me to this issue. And so I had to go back into my childhood. I had to go back into the memories. I had to go back into the hurts and the pains that was attaching me to these actions. And it's not easy, but it's possible for you to get out of it and to be delivered from masturbation and pornography. Amen. And so throw away the magazines, throw away the movies, throw away the DVDs, remove yourselves from movies and commercials, or an atmosphere that will have you to continue to indulge into these actions. It might not take you today or tomorrow or the day after to be completely rid from it, but go on a journey to separate yourselves from these actions. So that means that if you may masturbate today and you don't masturbate tomorrow, and then you fall back into it the day after, continue, continue on the journey. Wow, I used to watch porn on my phone, and it was bad that I had to replace my phone every 3 months because of viruses. And I had to discipline myself in that area to not use my phone to watch porn. Now I have to keep the same phone for a year with no issue. That's right. When you watch these things, it causes all kind of viruses and all kind of stuff that will come up on your phone. I remember when I used to watch it on my computer, I had so the what is it called, um the thing that you install on your computer to try to keep it from having viruses, that didn't work. I had so much issues with my computer. Had to buy computer, um had to get new brains and memories for the computer because of it. So that is absolutely true. Listen, it's just like Facebook. You know that we have an addiction to Facebook and Instagram or whatever social media platform, that it is in our hands. And so because it's in our hands and we have easy access to it, that is one of the hardest things to be able to get rid of. And so, we'll say, okay, well, I'm not going to go on Facebook today. And then because we're so used to, it's just emotions. We're so used to sliding our phone up. Even sometimes when I intend to go on my phone to read my Bible, yeah, the antivirus, thank you. I'll go on my phone to intend to read my Bible, but because I have gotten myself into a habit to slide up and click on Facebook and open up Facebook. And it's after a while when I'm scrolling, I'm like, hold up, I didn't come to go on Facebook. I came to read my Bible on my phone. I realized that it's just emotions. It's just the motions that it has that is creating these appetites. So I have to now rewire my brain to, when I go on my phone, or I have to either delete the app so I won't even know that it's on my phone, to now not just go on Facebook, go on Instagram, that I'm clicking to find my Bible. And it's the same thing when we're with any addiction, porn or masturbation. It's just the actions. It's the actions that has have us addicted to it. I remember somebody said that they were a smoker, right? And I'm using my water bottle because I don't smoke. And this green thing is um hiding my water bottle. I hope you can see it. But they used to get out their cigarette container, and they tap it, and then they tap it like this. And they said um just that alone was hard for them to quit smoking. Just them tapping their cigarette carton. I hope that makes sense, guys, what I'm saying. I'm all over the place this morning, but forgive me. Just the tapping of the cigarette carton was an addiction. And so, in order for them to stop smoking, they would have to carry around an empty cigarette carton just so they could tap it throughout the day. They would stop smoking, but the tapping of the cigarette carton was a part of their addiction. And so, when we go and we open up porn, and we are is searching for the porn sites and everything, it's the actions. It's the actions. It's the actions around it that is helping out with the addiction. And once we're able to get rid of the actions, or get rid of the memories, or get rid of whatever it is that is helping to create the behaviors, and create the motions, then we're able to easily get rid of these certain addictions. If you're just joining, we're doing part two of, are you lustful, or are you just horny? But I've decided to talk about porn and um, masturbation, because that was one of the things that a lot of people came to me this week. And guys, you'll be so surprised on how many people that are looking for help but didn't know that they could open up and talk about these types of things. All right, so I want to open up conversations where people could feel comfortable with their struggles. It doesn't mean that you're not a good Christian because you're struggling with something. It doesn't even have to be porn. It doesn't even have to be masturbation. It could be whatever. It could be smoking. It could be drinking. Whatever you may think that the struggle is, you just need to talk about it. Let's get help. Let's get healed, and let's become and develop to be better people in Christ. All right. And so we're talking about the antivirus. That was the last thing that we're talking about, the antivirus. And so, what I want everyone to do, if you are watching the replay, or if you're watching now and you're struggling with porn and you're struggling with masturbation, what I want you to do is get a piece of paper. Get a piece of paper. Try to remember, where and when did it start? When did I start masturbating? When? Why did I start masturbating? And are the feelings that I feel around masturbating or while watching pornography, or both? And a lot of people are feeling guilt. A lot of people are feeling shame. There's a shame that comes from it. Um, there's a guiltiness that comes from it. There's oh, I would never get rid of it, so I might as well just continue to do it because it has become a part of me. All of those emotions and feelings, write it down on a piece of paper. Write it down on a piece of paper. And after you write it down on a piece of paper, if you feel comfortable in sharing these things with Dr. T, go ahead and DM me. If you are not comfortable with sharing it with Dr. T, find someone that you are comfortable sharing these emotions with, so they could be rectified. We have to be able to share these emotions with somebody. If that's your local pastor, talk to your local pastor. If that's your therapist, talk to your therapist. If you do not have one, find one. See if your insurance will pay for you to get help with therapy. Find a brother or sister in Christ and share these emotions, share these feelings, and see if you can find someone that will help you with this journey. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. I could tell you that I think it took months for me to um, get over that part of my journey. I think it took months, but I had to go through the emotions. And a lot of times I felt sad because it was like I was divorcing this behavior. The disconnection of it that was so hard for me because I felt like I was losing something. It was like something was dying because I was so used to doing this every night. I couldn't even go to sleep without indulging in this behavior. And so the separation from it gave a piece of anxiety, like I was losing myself. But it has to die first in order for something else to germinate. That part of you have to die first in order for another part of you to be able to grow and flourish. So this is not an easy journey, but it's a possible journey. If you're just joining, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, go ahead, write them in the comment section. If you want to DM me, if you do not want to put it on a public forum, that's okay as well. You could DM me and I will not call your name, but I will answer your question at that. And I wanted to come on because I promised several people that I will give a part two um, in regards to this conversation that I started last week. And I wanted to give everyone time. I'm actually going to be on um, a show later on this afternoon at 2:30, guys. So if you have not seen the flyer for that, I will be on Suzette Speaks Patreon page, and we'll be having a conversation on what did I learn in marriage. And I believe that's going to be a good conversation. If you did not watch the last YouTube um, interview that I had with her, it was good. And I think this is where a lot of the conversation started from, was just simply being able to open up and tell someone the journey that went I went through, and we were able to talk about it, discuss it, and let everybody know that they are not alone in their journey, and they're able to come to the other side. If you have any questions, comment, go ahead, comment them in the comment section or put them in the comment section, and I will answer those questions. If you're going to watch the replay and you have any questions or comment, you can leave them in the comment section. I will go back and I will watch them. A lot of people has been in my DM, and I wanted to give part two today. I promised that I will come on, but again, I'm kind of in a somber mood. I'm trying to shake myself out of it. Um, so I still wanted to keep my promise and have this conversation with you guys here. So if you have any questions, comment, go ahead, leave them in the comment section. If not, I will catch you on the next time when I'm feeling more upbeat. I got to get myself out of this rut, guys. Got to get myself out of this rut. Um, that I'm feeling this morning so that I will be able to give my full self in my next interview. So if anyone is struggling in the area of pornography, in the area of masturbation, I want you to get rid of the shame and the guilt. I want to let you know myself that it's okay. I want to let you know that you are loved, and I believe in you, that you are able to come out of this place that you're in. And once you come out of this place that you're in, I know that you'll be able to share your story and help someone in their journey. Jesus said to Peter, Peter, Satan desire to sift you like wheat, but when you come out and you get to the other side, teach your brother. And that's what we're doing. We're teaching our brothers and we're teaching our sisters how to walk out their journey. God has allowed me to be in a place where I could talk and help someone, what would you say to someone who says it is normal to masturbate? Then then if they believe that it's normal to masturbate, then I can't help them. I can't help them. If they believe that it's normal to masturbate, then that's a conversation that I wouldn't be able to have with them, because they have lost, they do not want help. So there's no reason for me to say anything to anybody who does not want help. If they believe that masturbation is normal, then I'll wait for them to feel like it is not and want to be set free. So I guess I have no words for anyone that believe it's normal. I'm not here to have an argument with someone. I'm just here to help those who do not want to indulge in those behaviors anymore. And so there's a lot of people out there that feels that it's okay. As you know, I went to a doctor one time, not for myself, but I'm not going to mention for who, but I was a part of a conversation where a doctor was saying that is okay. And, that they were telling me that it's a normal behavior for certain people to indulge into these types of activities. And I know right then that wasn't a doctor that I want to listen to. I, um, I respect her opinion. I listened to her opinion, and I walked out of that conversation um, with more information of how people think, right? And so I wasn't there to argue with the doctor, but I was there to just listen to what the doctor have to say. So Dr. T is not here to try to change anybody's mind. If you believe that watching porn is okay, okay, I'm okay with that too. And if you believe that masturbating is okay, then I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm here to help people walk um, in a journey of development and freedom, right? So if someone wants to be set free, but I like that question, Sean. I like that question. Sometimes we just don't indulge in certain conversations or certain arguments with people that you can't change their mind. Obviously, they love it, they like it, and all I could do is just, because let's be real, guys. Let's be real. It just like sex, um, just like sex, masturbation feels good. But I could tell you this: as I was speaking to someone this week, that it will definitely ruin your relationship. It would definitely ruin your relationships. It would definitely ruin your relationship. Why? Because you'll find that in masturbation, you learn how to please yourself better than what your partner may understand how to please you at that time. And so your mind will move from masturbation. And if you are not careful, you will begin to stray outside of your relationships to find the pleasure that you're looking for, that you're giving yourself. And so let me just put that out there, right? So let me just put that out there. A lot of times men cheat, women cheat because they are looking for the feelings that they're feeling, the enjoyment that they're having, um, that are manifested by the thoughts in their mind. Um, and so they go out there and they look for other partners to be able to satisfy that desire that they have generated in their minds, right? So before we go and indulge in certain behaviors, we oftentimes we've already thought about it. We've already imagined it. We've already created a whole story of how it will feel if we go out and do this thing. And so it's just like weed. People say that weed is a entry level drug. It's a gateway drug. And so that's masturbation. Once you start masturbating, you're either going to indulge in having sex physically. So if you're a Christian, you're going to start fornicating. If you're married, you're going to start committing adultery, because you will never be satisfied in your bedroom with your spouse. So let's just put that out there. Good morning, Joannelle. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Listen, one day God, this was out of the blue. I've never heard this before. I've never heard this before. But God said to me one day, and this was a prophecy for somebody specific, that the reason why the person was struggling financially is because every time they masturbated, they were washing away their wealth on their hands. I never heard that in my life. I didn't even know if this person was masturbating. I didn't even know. I don't, because I didn't know, but I know I had to say it. But certain actions that we create in our life is what's certain behaviors that we're doing in our life is what's holding us back from becoming 100% of who God has called us to be. And so we are functioning minimally, and we are trying to get ourselves out of this minimal function and don't know how. And a lot of times it's because of the behaviors that we are indulging in. And something as simple as masturbating or watching porn, we think, oh, it's not doing anybody any harm. It's not doing anybody any harm, because a lot of people do not know. But it might not be doing, you might not think that it's doing you any harm, but it is. It is stopping you from um, becoming who you are to become, right? There's so many things that we could replace in that place. So many things we could do. There's books we could read. There's classes that we could take. Another thing that I've learned, that when we masturbate and when we watch porn, it also helps with depression. It also helps with depression. And so if these are some of the things that you're experiencing, depression, anxiety, you do not want to be in a big crowd. You feel anxious around a big crowd, or you feel intimidated by this big crowd, and you are someone that masturbates or someone that watch porn, check it out and see if these behaviors are attributing to the way that you're feeling. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor in behavioral therapy at all. But I'm just telling you things that I've heard of in conversations, I've experienced, just talking to other people that have walked through this types of behavior. And if that is you and you connect with that, let's look at it. So again, I said, if you struggle with masturbation, you struggle with pornography, or you struggle with both, get a piece of paper, write down when it started, if you can remember how or why it started, and write down the feelings that you're feeling. This is not an easy thing to do, but it's the beginning of the process to um, a journey of coming out of a place of masturbation and pornography. And let's rectify these feelings that are attached to it. If there's a feeling of guilt, if there's a feeling of shame, there's a feeling of insecurity, write it down on a piece of paper. If you secretly like it, and that's okay. I actually like masturbating. I actually like watching porn. But why do you like it? What is it giving you? What feelings is it giving you? I want you to write it all on a piece of paper. If you feel comfortable opening up to me, as many people have this past week, you are able and you are free to DM me. It will always stay private. I do not share anyone names. I do not share anything personal with anyone. When you do come to me, if you don't feel comfortable coming to me, find someone. Talk to a therapist. Talk to a therapist. Talk to your pastor. Talk to your first lady. Find someone and have a conversation and see if they could help you um, be set free from this lifestyle. Okay, guys? So, again, if you have any questions, I'll wait 5 more minutes on you. And if you're watching the replay and you have any questions, comments, concern, you could DM me. If you do not feel um, comfortable putting them in the comment sections, I'm okay with that. If you are on YouTube and you're watching this as a replay, or you're watching this now, I know there's no place for you to privately have a conversation with me. So go on my Facebook, look for Dr. Tanisha Allen. You could DM me on that page, or go to my Instagram, Dr. Tanisha Allen, and message me on there. I am on Twitter. I am live on LinkedIn as well. And so all of those other platforms have um, a place where you could have private conversations with me. And I will be happy to have a conversation with you. So God bless everyone that has watched. I have been on here for a while. Again, continue to pray for my church family, um, all those who still attend that church. We had a brother in Christ that passed away, and we are shocked and are appalled and upset and sad at the same time. And so, if I'm not my bubbly self, I'm still going through the emotions of that. And we are heartbroken and we are praying for that family. Um, I want to say this beyond feeling, um, I have to count my words, guys. If you have any um, feelings of, uh, if you feel like life has gotten too much for you, if you feel any onsets of just giving up, or that you're going to hurt yourself or someone else, or you're not able to take um, certain aspects of life, please talk to someone. And if you know someone that is struggling um, with any of these emotions, don't be quiet about it. Okay, reach out to someone, tell someone. Don't be afraid to get help for that person. I could tell you something personally that happened to me with one of my family members. I had to do something that a couple of years ago, something that I would never want to do, and that is to call authorities to help me to kind of figure out what's going on with that family member. And it was the hardest thing for me to do. It was the hardest thing for me to do. It was the hardest thing for me to watch and hear. But at the end of the day, I had to do it because I needed to get help for that person. And sometimes we have to do what's hard in that moment so that we could save someone's life. And this have nothing to do with the death of my brother in Christ, but it has everything to do with how I'm feeling today. And I know that we're in a season where a lot of people need mental help. A lot of people are struggling mentally. And it's so easy for people to look at another person and compare that person's mental strength to theirs, and then think that that's a standard of mental health. We don't know what people are going through mentally, right? We don't know how what is affecting certain families or certain people. A lot of time people will look at Dr. T because I do carry a lot. I carry a lot and I bear it easily. What the thoughts of it is that people will know of me going through something. People know that I will just either get out the hospital, or people will know that certain situations involving me will be hard for them to carry. And because I carry it good, they believe that I am not affected by it. And it's not true. Nobody knows what happens when behind closed door, when I go home and I close my bedroom door and I'm laying in my bed. Nobody knows that. And so we have to reconcile our own mental health. Don't use anybody as a standard of, oh, that person is able to get through it, so I'm not going to talk to them because they're never going to understand me, or I'm just going to keep it to myself because no one will ever understand me. No, get help, please. Please get help. There are so many people that have lost their life by their own hands, um, or just by an unfortunate situation that could have been avoided if we just open up our mouth to talk. There's many people that are sitting in a psych ward now that if they felt comfortable to speak, that maybe would have been rectified before the situation have been escalated. My I told my spiritual mom this, and this is just so totally different. And I have to talk because this is just everything that I'm feeling today and why I'm so somber and all over the place. I was telling my spiritual mother that, you know, she's a therapist. If everybody know Pastor Winslow McLean, she's a therapist, and she is a advocate for marrying the church and therapy together. I think if that's the right thing to say. At first, I didn't understand it because I've been around so much spirituality, and I believe that everyone just needed deliverance and everything was a demon. And if we were able to, um, just if that person was able to get deliverance, then everything will be okay. And I had to tell her, like, I definitely take back everything I thought. And that was because I was, immature in my thinking then. But I realized that even if a person get deliverance 100 times, if their mental state has not been corrected, they will continue to go back and indulge in the behaviors that they were first delivered from, right? And so I don't want us to be too holy that we are no earthly good. And so just recently, and if anybody has followed me or listened to me speak, I've said it many times that I've been on a journey in the past 2 years of developing, 2 years or more, it might be more because it's before the pandemic, of developing who I am and finding out who I am as a woman, as a mother, um, as a wife, as a woman of God, as a sister. I have to find out who I am separate from in all these different spaces that I occupy, and who I am, who is Tanisha beyond all of that. And so I have to be able to be good, um, be good. What am I trying to say? I have to be mentally stable in Tanisha before I'm able to be any good as mommy or wife or Dr. T or any of these other spaces that I carry. And so I've become so eager, and I've become so bold in my conversations about the same thing now that my spiritual mom has gone on a journey so long ago. I'm just now catching up to her. We really need to check our minds. We really need to check our mental state. And we really need to find help in that place, um, so that we could be good, um, in the spaces that we occupied. Okay. And so I'm tired of seeing pastors, ministers killing themselves, church people killing themselves, not even that, those type of anybody. I'm tired of seeing everybody killing themselves or going into having a manic outbursts because they found no safe space. And so, guys, please, please, let's not be too selfish. And I'm talking to myself too. Let's not be too selfish to or too busy to be able to recognize somebody that is showing signs of distress. Um, and let's not be too quick to write people off because they are showing certain behaviors that we may not agree with. Okay. And so this is totally off topic, but I believe that we need to say it. So let's not be too quick to write off people because they're showing certain behaviors that we might not agree with. All right. And that's, I've seen it so many times done. We write off people we may not agree because either they're homosexual or they're very promiscuous or they are, they they are a character that we don't find desirable, let us not be too quick, because we do not know what people are going through or why those people are behaving that way. Okay, guys? So just know that Dr. T loves you. Let's be true to um, ourselves. And as we're being true to ourselves, let us be also true to becoming a better self, right? A better you. Let's be true to growing and developing, true to finding out who you are every day as, um, as you wake up in the morning and pray. Make sure that you are doing all that you could do to become a better you. All right. So God bless you guys. I haven't seen any more comments in the comment section. I did go off topic, but I just wanted everyone to feel free and feel that they have a safe place in me if you feel necessary to talk to someone about what they're going through. I had a comment. God bless you, Minister Jonell. um, there is a conversation that I will come back. I'll be more organized in that conversation, guys, because my mind was just blown this morning as I woke up. Um, Somebody messaged me and they wanted me to talk about what happens after divorce with children. I have to read the comment again. So when there is a safe parent and there are two parents, one is saved and one is unsaved. And so I'm going to come back maybe sometime next week and we'll have a conversation in regards to that. I know that's going to be a good conversation because it's not only issues that um, happen in the church, but there's issues that happen outside the church where maybe a parent um, lifestyle is total opposite of the other parent, and one of the parent believe that their lifestyle and their way of growing the kids is more pleasing than the other, and so they're struggling with the visitations of from household to household. So that conversation is going to be good. God has been really downloading to me in regards to that, and so I will come back next week, hopefully God's will, to have a conversation with you. And I cannot say it enough. Dr. T, love you. If you feel that you need to talk to someone, please reach out to me. I am not here to judge or make you feel ashamed, but I'm here to help you in your journey to freedom. And we're going to do it the God way. And we're going to do it in a way that I know that um, it will help you in the future. Amen. With the wisdom of God. So let us all just love on someone today. Tell them you love them. Reach out to someone that you haven't heard from in a long time. Say hi to someone on Facebook that you haven't seen. Let them know that they are loved. Let them know that you're thinking of them. And please avail yourself um, so that someone who needs to talk will be able to talk to you. All right. God bless you guys. Until we see each other again, you could find me on YouTube, Dr. Tanisha Allen, Twitter, Dr. Tanisha Allen, or Facebook, Dr. Tanisha Allen. You'll be able to um, message me on all those platforms as well as LinkedIn. If you are on Patreon, I'm not really familiar with Patreon. I'll be on Suzette Speaks page in the next 45 minutes at 2:30. I'll be going live with her, and go ahead and log on to that. We'll be talking about um, things I've learned in marriage, and I believe that will be a good conversation. It is a continuation of a live that I've had with her previously, and I know that it will be a good message for all those who are married and those who have not yet married. All right, God bless you guys. See you next time.